Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Rest, Reset, and Reflect. My name is Nyam Adedwaji. I am a contemplative sabbatical coach and writer after first career of many years as a product and project manager within the tech space and digital agencies. Now I partner with mid-career folks in tech to engage in rest, reclamation, identity, alchemy, and transformation, and career breaks. So if that is your jam, would love to connect with you on these interwebs on LinkedIn or Substack or on YouTube, wherever you like to hang out. And as I mentioned, I invite folks into rest, into pause, into reconnection with body and breath, particularly in the times that we're living in. I think, regardless of who you are, where you are, we're living in the wildest of times. And I say that all the time to people. And we're living in the wildest of times. So, even more so, this need to reconnect to our breath, to our bodies, to ourselves is even more important, so that we have that sense of grounding and of inner clarity to navigate the times that we're in. So this space, rest, reset, and reflect, is really just meant to be an informal space where you can do that, whether it's at the start of your day or the middle of your day, mid-afternoon, end of your day. You can take a pause to do that. Often what I've been doing is starting with a brief meditation, about 10, 15 minutes, and diving into a topic. Today, I'm just going to do kind of guide into the meditation, might be a little bit more than 15 minutes. So if you are wanting to kick off your day or, kind of have a moment of pause within your day, welcome. You're also always free to drop a comment if you feel so led. So with that, I am going to invite you to just take a peek around your space. So maybe you're at the office, or maybe you're at home, or maybe even if you're at a place where the weather's not too bad, it's good. Maybe you're sitting outside, but wherever you are, just inviting you to take a quick peek around your space and see if there's anything you want to adjust to feel more comfortable. So maybe you want to close blinds, maybe you want to close or lock a door, maybe you want to find figure out what position feels comfortable, whether that's sitting, standing, lying down. Just taking a beat to get yourself sorted and comfortable. And when you find that comfortable position for yourself, if it feels good, I invite you to gently close your eyes or keep a soft gaze. And as you start to tune inward, take a moment to notice how you can feel even more settled and grounded. So maybe that is your breath moving in a certain way. Maybe you want to place your hands in your heart or your belly or somewhere else in your body. Maybe you want to gently sway back and forth. Just tuning into whatever helps you feel even more grounded. And as you settle into that sense of feeling grounded, I want to invite you to notice your breath. There's nothing that you need to do or change. Just notice how it feels moving in and out of your body. Maybe you notice the temperature. Maybe you notice the temperature and the texture. How does it feel to notice the rise and fall of your chest? Just tuning into this movement of life in and outside of your body through the flow of your breath. And as you tune into your breath, I want to invite you to notice your base. So if you're standing, maybe that's feet on the floor. If you're sitting, maybe that's where your seat is making contact with your chair or couch. If you're lying down, maybe that's the length of your body against the floor. And as you notice these points of contact, I want to invite you to get really heavy. Can you sink deeply into these surfaces and letting them support you? Maybe they're heavy things that you're carrying. How can you let these points of contact hold those burdens so that you can release more deeply? And as you sink into that feeling of heaviness with those points of contact, I want to invite you to bring your awareness to your heart and heart space. Maybe you want to place a hand over heart, gently inviting you to notice what feels alive here, what feels resonant. And you're invited to breathe or move in whatever way this part of your body is calling for. The movement can be big or small, subtle or dynamic. What is this part of your body, your heart space calling for? And as you tune into your heart space, I'm going to invite you to gently bring your awareness to your pelvic area. And maybe you breathe into your left hip. Maybe you breathe into your right hip. And gently bring your awareness to your center. Inviting you to notice in this part of your area what feels alive, what's present here. Inviting you to also notice if is there stagnancy here. Noticing that whatever you find and is present is welcome. I invite you here as well to take any movements, big or small, that feel good in this area. Maybe it's a deepening of breath between your hips into your sacrum and lower back. Or maybe it's a twist or a stretch. Just inviting you to tune into this part of your body. And as we've dropped into our bodies, I want to invite you into what I hope is a bit of a playful, reflective movement exercise. I want you to consider the four elements of earth, air, water, and fire. And without overthinking it, in this moment, which of those elements do you feel drawn to? Is it the grounding and stability of earth? Is it the vitality, passion, and cleansing of fire? Is it the fluidity, coherence, and flow of water? Is it the lightness and expansion of air? Inviting you to consider which of these elements you feel drawn to. No need to push or force a meeting. And as you notice which of these elements you feel drawn to, I invite you to even see, how is that sense of that element present within your body? Can you notice a quality of your selected element inside of you? Maybe it's a sensation, maybe it's a word, a phrase, an image, a sound. How is this element present inside of you? No matter how small or even how big it shows up. And as you notice that presence of that element, I want to invite you to, even if it feels okay, how can you move like that element? How does your breath start to shift as you reflect on that element? Is there a way that your body feels called to move as that given element? Is there even a sound that wants to express as that element? Just inviting you, as it feels okay and accessible to you, to let yourself move, let yourself shift, let yourself play, and connect with the sense of whichever element is resonant for you and how it's showing up in your body. And as you move as this element, inviting you to gently notice what's shifting within you. What is this element inviting you into? Perhaps even, how do you want to bring this element into the rest of your day? Are there conversations that you need to have into which this element can bring insight and support? Is there a deep creative or strategic or other problem that you're solving for which this element can provide inspiration? Is there a way you feel stuck or stagnant or forced? And is there a way that this element can give you breakthrough? Just inviting you to let yourself explore how this element can support you as you continue to move through your day. And as you've been moving as this element, as you've been inviting it into the flow or the stagnancy of your day, it's inviting you to, in your own time, find a bit of stillness. Take a beat and a pause in this stillness to notice how you felt at the beginning of this meditation and to notice how you feel now. Maybe you want to give a word of thanks to your body for the wisdom that your body has shown you, and inviting you to take a snapshot of any part of this practice and meditation today that you want to carry with you. And as you do that, inviting you to take any movements, big or small, that your body might be calling for. Maybe it's a shake or a shimmy, maybe a stretch, a shoulder roll, a neck roll, a twist. And as you take that final movement in your own time, opening your eyes and coming back into your space. Maybe you want to look around your space to anchor in and reorient. And when you're ready, closing out this time of meditation and pause. If anything stood out to you or impacted you, I always love to hear that. Feel free to share now, or always welcome to send me a DM. I love to hear how you're impacted if you feel led. And I hope that this has been a moment where you feel that sense of reconnection with yourself, and that it carries you through the rest of this day. As I mentioned, today I just having this brief meditation. And before I sign off, I want to mention a workshop that I'm exploring and getting a sense of level of interest and need for it. I know that we are in a moment when the job market is tough for a lot of folks. There's a lot of hesitancy to leave jobs, particularly without perhaps having another job lined up, and perhaps in terms of taking extended time away for something like a sabbatical. So I'm very sensitive to that. And I'm also sensitive to many of y'all are 911 burned out, struggling. So how can there be a way where you can take some time to intentionally rest, recover, and reset. That doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job. So the workshop I am exploring would be how can you leverage the Family Medical Leave Act, or FMLA, which is a provision that lets you take intentional time away from work. How can you leverage resources like short and or long-term disability that you might have as a benefit through your employer? How can you leverage these resources to create a type of sabbatical or intentional career break for yourself? That if you are a person who is you're at or beyond your limit, you're burned out, and you know that you need a break, you know that you need a breath, a pause, but you're not in a position to leave a job. This workshop would The intent would be to help you understand those three resources, what those are: FMLA, short and long-term disability, how you can potentially leverage them for your situation to take a break. And I would aim to include voices and of folks who have actually taken a break via these resources, and potentially also partnering with someone who has worked as a licensed therapist and has supported people through this process, so that you understand how you can leverage these tools and leave that workshop with clear steps of how you can leverage these tools to create the type of break that you need. The second part of what I want to offer is access to, beyond the workshop time, access support through access support of, if you need help continuing to move through the process, offering support and resources for that. So let me know. I know that could be a sensitive topic. So let me know, and by sending a DM, if that's something that resonates for you. I'm really happy to provide and create a space for it, but just kind of trying to tune in and get a sense for what the need is within the market and for y'all. And with that, if you were here live, thanks for joining me live. If you watch a little bit later, thanks for watching later. And I truly hope the rest of your day you are able to find the grounding you need. You're able to find the little moments of joy. You're able to find moments of respite. And then you're also able even to extend that grace to others. And with that, I'll sign off, and